The name of this band is Ayreon, Age of Shadows, We Are Forever, lyric video, let's go. I gotta rewind that part. I don't usually do this, but listen to that guitar part right there. I don't usually do it. Just listen to that guitar part.
Okay.
Man.
I thought somebody said at the beginning that this was Floor's sister, so I was like, yo, you're Floor's sister?
It was Floor's sister.
Well, Kel said it was not, that it's Floor herself. But when it started, I was like, I wonder if she's going to sound at all like Floor. And then it sounded exactly like Floor. And I was like, wow, how did Floor get that position where her sister sings just as good? And we never heard of her before.
Oh, I know.
Then turns out it's Floor. Is it or not?
No,
Somebody tell me.
I don't know. Unbelievable song. You know, we were talking about the order. Remember? It was I was gonna do this song and then I was gonna do Plan of Salvation.
Oh, I know. That's
and you were
why.
like, oh, there's a specific order.
That's why the Wackator was like,
well, let's talk to Wackator.
Yes.
Wackator goes, well,
you can't.
Okay,
It
now I
absolutely
understand.
needed to be in this order.
This needs
I
to be
literally
the last
thought the
song.
same thing. Yeah.
This is a lot, guys. If you pay for a stream, you're essentially hiring us, right? So you get to say, hey, I want this in this specific order. If you don't specify the specific order, then it doesn't follow that you're necessarily going to get it in that order. And some of you, like Wackator obviously was, are extremely thoughtful. Middle Earth is like this too. And he's extremely thoughtful and purposeful of what songs and then which order. So I'm just doing that as a public service announcement. If you buy a song, whether it's 1 or 5 or 10, please don't buy 10.
If it's 1, you can't pick the order.
Right.
It's freaking one song.
Or if it's 2 or 5 or 10, then you get to do the order and which videos we do. Obviously, if it's an official video, yada yada yada. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Okay, first of all, I am going to leave a lot of meat on the bone in this review because we would be here for 15 hours. But there are so many themes.
Yo, babe.
In this song.
I hate it when you stop the song and you rewind it because it messes with my flow.
I know.
But even I appreciated this backup because that guitar part, I'm very glad you pulled it back so I could hear that again.
There's things.
And you pointed it out. I was like, okay.
Yeah, there are moments in a song where the musician will do something really subtle.
Age of Shadows is the name of the song.
Age of Shadows. The musician will do something that's really subtle. The person who really epitomizes this to me is Dave Mustaine.
Yep.
Where he's so talented that a lick or a riff or a progression that, to me, I would build the entire song around, he could just throw away in the last, he could just do a random 4-second little lick that fits in the song, but could stand alone by itself. And that's what when I did that rewind part, that's what was happening. It was just a moment of genius.
Absolutely.
That was just, they caught
I missed it.
Caught
I'm
everything.
so drawn to the vocals.
Yeah. It was great. There's a story. I'm pretty sure we did I'm pretty sure it was for Holly. We did a song from a band that had like 10 people. They were guesting and everything. And it was some sci-fi shit. I'm almost willing to bet my life that it was this band, but
so to my understanding, this is a bunch of different people that came together to collab on this, but holy
yeah.
shit, how could they make any money? Somebody said that, like, how much would you have to charge to make money for that many people? Or is this just, we're going in for the fun of it?
See, that's the thing. It's like this guy, maybe he's big and he's a quadrillionaire and he can give everybody a decent cut. But to me, projects like this kind of look like or feel like people are just very... you know what it's like? It's like...
yes, we have Kellen Dross done it.
The Pro Bowl. So in the Pro Bowl, what happens is you get the best people from all the teams, and then you put them against each other. So Tom Brady is going to be on the same team as, let's say, Barry Sanders or something like that, right? And it's not about the money. It's just playing with the best players. Because even if your team wins the Super Bowl, that doesn't mean you're playing with the best players. You could just be a badass. But now you get to play with the guys at the top of the league, and what would that game look like? So this band or project, whatever people want to call it, to me, it's like this shows you that these musicians, man, just love the music. And you could be cynical and say, well, they've made their millions already. Fine, I don't care. But Trump has made millions, and he's still a greedy bastard to a degree, right? Like, and I'm not dissing on Trump. Like, my point is, don't be so cynical. This was a moment where musicians came together for the love of the music.
Yeah.
And they made beautiful fucking music.
Yeah.
And I just think that's unbelievable. Whoever this guy was that is able to assemble the fucking Avengers, like, I tip my hat to you, bro. That shit was unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. How are you going to get that many people in on it?
I know.
Can you pass me the charger?
I know. Like, it's so...
Oh, no.
No, we're okay.
I thought that was our internet.
No. That's the internet. And
I thought
remember, we're on Wi-Fi, so we got Wi-Fi as a backup.
This.
No, we're good. That was just amazing.
Babe.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Are you sure?
Am I sure what?
This looks like it's that, so we don't even have the internet plugged in right now. That's probably why we're lagging.
What are you talking about? Hey, look.
You don't want it?
No.
Okay.
We're okay.
All right.
We're okay. You're right. You're right, though. We've been relying on Wi-Fi most of the time.
Right.
And when we switched
and that never went well for us.
When we switched it to 5G, it went pretty well.
Okay, so yeah, they really. I wonder how even you can get this many people.
Yeah.
And the video that I'm so glad whoever made that video was a friggin' genius, because there are different people that can sing different ways.
100%.
So you could think that there was 4 or 5 people on that song.
Yeah, I agree.
But they kept lighting it up, so you got to see how many times I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody's gonna sing on this.
And then that binary, the 0101, spelling something out, and then they put it out in the video.
Yes.
That was the most effort I've ever seen on a lyric video. If I could rate
was
the video,
that an official video?
If I could rate the video, that's an 11. The video itself is the video is the best video I've ever seen. Not because it's not the most visually compelling.
You don't need it to be.
What they did with it, and like that's just engineering on 50, man.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable. It's a fan video that did that. Holy shit!
Wow. You know what? Okay, if I
knew that fan, I would give that guy a free review. Honestly, like that was just
I'm sure it'll get back to him.
I love that kind of.
Well, if you're watching it. What do you want? Email us, vinandsori@gmail.com. Vinny just gave you a free review, so.
I mean, that's assuming the guy's even interested in getting a review from us. It's kind of arrogant, but whatever.
I don't think it's arrogant. But
but
I'm me.
Yeah, I've just never. Floor Sister has performed with Ayreon. Not that she's in the band, but she's performed with her. Lyrically, there are themes about, humanity and the constant, difference between the Dominion mandate and just abusing the earth. In other words...
Oh, I thought that there was, mixing humans with machines and the inevitable fail of that or something.
Yeah, so, if you look...
I won't accept what we've become.
Yeah.
The Age of Shadows, and then the the help thing.
Yes, but this is what I'm talking about right here in the middle. The guy says no more aggression. That's a positive thing.
Yep.
But then Floor says, yeah, but there's no more initiative either. That's brilliant, because the same well that is responsible for aggression is also responsible for initiation. Mm-hmm. So as a matter of fact, we use the terms interchangeably. We say, okay, we're going to be aggressive about yada yada, this margin here. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's all these these opposites. No more suppression. Yeah, but no more emotions. No more recession, but no more of all the feelings we shared, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, what are you going to do with that changeover? Mm-hmm. Would you take it? Which is the ultimate question of the giver, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
How do we mitigate suffering? And what's really interesting to me is, so I've been a Christian my whole life. I've been a lifelong student of Islam for close to 15 years. I know very little about Buddhism. Mm-hmm. Buddhism, though, seems to me to say that the root of all pain and suffering is attachment to the things of this physical world. So if you can achieve some sort of ultimate detachment, then you've reached nirvana, right?
Yeah.
So that you will live in a painless context. Mm-hmm. But to me, in nirvana, at some level means nothingness to a degree, because it's the desire
for... It's a cessation of all desire.
Right. So it seems like that's the solution that's being given here. Which is
for some
no
of it.
more aggression, but you don't have any more initiative, no more obsessions, no more sensations. You know what I'm saying? It kind of looks like let's just get rid of emotion as a whole or desire as a whole, and then we won't have to feel pain. My mindset is that it is impossible for us to operate without desire.
Yeah.
So even when a person says, I want to get to the point where I don't have any desires, that itself is a desire.
Right. Yeah.
And then the question would be, okay, you don't have any more desires. Would you like to remain that way in a state of not having desires?
Right. Yeah.
It's
interesting too because I saw this thing. It was talking about like healthy or unhealthy ways that people deal with conflict. And one of the things, some people get aggressive, some people pull back. And one of the things, it was circulating on Facebook for a while, and it was saying the person that shuts down, that's just as toxic to a relationship as the fight that can happen. And so, there's a lot of times where I've wanted to just shut down in our conversations and I keep it going because I don't want to succumb to that level of toxicity.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Oh, so when I think about to try to get yourself to the point of no desires, to me, that's actually not a healthy way to live because desires are natural to the human existence. And I'm not sure if trying to make it so that there is none is actually just like another way of, so when you try to get out of a situation or a conversation because you don't want to have it, sometimes that's based off of trauma that you've had in the past or different things. And so it's a coping mechanism to deal with the conflict. So you're going to shut down, or you're going to block the person out, or you're going to walk off. You're not going to continue on with the conversation because you feel uncomfortable or upset or angry or whatever. And so that's looked at as, well, that's a toxic trait to have, or that's not a healthy way of coping and dealing, but it's based off previous traumas. And I'm just not sure. To me, it almost seems like a subcategory of that you're trying to get rid of all desires. And then that's going to make it so that way you're not really engaging. How can you engage with the world around you without having having desires or responses or strong feelings about the things happening in the world around you, to you directly or to your neighbor or to,
Yeah, desire is the gasoline that drives the car.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Right? It seems unhealthy to try to get to the point where you don't have that anymore.
It's like you can have a Lamborghini, but there's no gas in it. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So my mindset is you have to have desires. Now, we're still stuck with the problem of pain, though. And so obviously as a Christian, you have, multiple ways of engaging that issue. But I just think it's a more practically sustainable.
Yep.
I think there are a bunch of people with hella discipline who can get there and do that. Mm-hmm. But those are 1%ers. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Apparently there's a whole record on this. This is part of it. Of course there is. But the theme, because aliens, basically,
it's a story.
Yeah, it's really, really. So I'm trying to look at the comments for the explanation of the storyline, but not because who knows? We might end up doing this entire record. You never know.
Oh yeah, an album. Yeah.
10.5 from me. And an 11. It's the best video. Whoever you are, you shot the best lyric video of all time. It's not even close, and nobody's gonna come close to that. Nobody. Impossible.
Yeah,
you're the Tom Brady of lyric videos. What do you give it?
So I had a 10.5 in my head as well. So
yes.
we're ending on a note the same. Here's my hand. I know I'm light, so you're not expecting this, but come on.
Kellen Dross said, as someone who's done a lot of writing for D&D, I have a ton of respect for how difficult it is to weave a narrative with that kind of scope. Exactly, Kel. And then put music on top of it. It's ridiculous.
Just absolutely beautiful.
People are too gifted, bro. It's too much.
Gorgeous.
Too much.
Love it.
Okay.
So it was a 10.5 for me as well. Wakator, this is an awesome song. Guys, don't forget to see his guitar. Whee!
Yep, there's Wakator's guitar.
It's bigger than that in real life. Here, let me play it. So anyway, this is good. I really, really like this one. This is definitely one that I would listen to again.
D-Bear says, would have been an 11 with a Danny Filth shriek. Yeah, there's one little thing that would have pushed it over top. That might have. But I think what happened is those singers were too gifted to do that. Remember we talked to Lindsay? She's like, I hate doing that shit, that growly pig squeal. But if you included just one, maybe a Corey Taylor that would have pushed it over the edge.
I agree. I think I actually agree with that. Well, there you have it.
There you are, dear listener. Thank you guys for hanging out. We will see you tomorrow. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.